to make DraftKings an income, man. And another week. I did pretty good Sunday, but those primetime games, man.
Yeah,
Taylor
you.
Gabriel and Jordan Howard, man.
It was the week of the three touchdown performance, man. Like so, Mike Evans did it, and it last week was ridiculous. If you
It
there was
was.
multiple players who broke the slate. Mark Ingram had three touchdowns. Like it was ridiculous.
Yeah, like I said, Taylor Gabriel, man, all of a sudden 1 yard catches, 3 yard catches. Instead of David Montgomery on the goal line, who I had, let's go, let's throw the ball with Mitch Trubisky again. I guess it's all good. And Jordan Howard, Devontae Adams, man, he couldn't score. He should have scored in the first drive. Got caught. Gave it to him again. Got caught. Of course, he don't score, but I got him everywhere. But it's all good though. We live
I
and we
mean,
learn. So,
he still had 10 catches for 180 yards.
and
So.
I was waiting. I was waiting on that day. I was waiting on this day.
Oh, absolutely. I have him in like half of my season one league, so I'm starting off a good week.
Oh yeah, definitely. What you got for the injury report, man?
All right, so for the injury report, Melvin Gordon is still on the exempt list. We do not know if he's playing yet, but he may play because Justin Jackson is out and also Mike Williams is out. And so Julian Edelman has a chest injury. He's fighting to try to play on Sunday. Edelman usually plays through injury, so I like him a lot. T.Y. Hilton is doubtful with a quad injury. More than likely, he's not going to play. Um, Godwin also has a hip injury. He should be good to go. And then, yeah, like I said, so Damon Williams is also out for Kansas City. Mark Andrews has a foot injury that he said he's not quite 100%, but I feel like the Ravens are just going to do like a whole. They're just going to pass to every tight end. It doesn't matter. And then, yeah, so Terry McLaurin is the last one. He had a hamstring injury coming out of Thursday's practice, and they set him out Friday, but they said he should be good to go for Sunday.
All right. Well, let's not waste no time, man. Let's get right into the games of this week. So here you go.
Oh yeah, the first one, the Carolina Panthers at the Houston Texans. It's -4 to the home team Houston, and the over under is 47.5. Um, yeah, so I'm playing DeAndre Hopkins and Christian McCaffrey, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I got a lot of Christian McCaffrey, man, and so I definitely expect a big day. Houston has been good against running backs so far, um, but Kamara went to work, so I expect McCaffrey to do the same. So
Yeah, absolutely. I like Deshaun Watson a lot this week as well. I feel like this is one. This is actually one of the. It's like a middle of the pack towards the higher end of the totals on this actual slate. So this game can definitely go off, which could bode well for people like Curtis Samuel, DJ Moore, Kenny Stills, Will Fuller, and all. And because I don't know who I'm going to pick from the pass catchers of the Panthers besides Greg Olsen.
now, what do you think about Kyle Allen? Because last week that was pretty. I mean, I know against the Cardinals defense, but that was pretty good as far as you know. Everybody was involved. DJ Moore, 50-yard catch. Samuel had his touchdown. Greg Olsen with slap crazy. And then McCaffrey was slap crazy. Like, this offense got to open up more, and it's what we expected coming in. That's why I got DJ Moore. I thought he was going to be a breakout year, and I got McCaffrey in all these leagues because I thought Panthers was going to be an explosive offense. So maybe Kyle Allen is what they need. And I guess Houston is not really a scary defense like it used to be. So do you expect something big out of him, or at least good enough to help everybody else around?
Yeah, I really don't know if it's going to be a big game, especially the Carolina Panthers line hasn't been looking that good. So if they're able to get to Kyle Allen, we can definitely see a different kind of game. But yeah, Kyle Allen does pass the ball around a lot, so that's why I really don't know. But backup quarterbacks pass the tight ends. So and Greg Olsen was tied with the most targets last week with Curtis Samuel with 7. So he's the only one I feel safe with as a floor play.
Greg Olsen has been playing like a monster so far this week, like this year. Like he get into that old bag, man, and I expect another good day from him, and I expect to put him in a couple lineups as well. On Houston side, Carlos Hyde, Duke Johnson. I just made for Duke Johnson a trade for Duke Johnson in a dynasty league. Don't really care about it too much, but what do you expect from these running backs?
I don't really see where they come into play. I feel like the only one that's really playable for me is Carlos Hyde because he's going to get the in between the tackle work.
Yeah.
Houston really doesn't use their running backs like that, so it's hard to pick and choose. And if you're going to go with something that's iffy, you got to take the goal line back because they
Yeah,
play
yeah,
good.
yeah. And the bad thing about that is like you would think Watson would use Duke Johnson how like Cam used McCaffrey and use the dump off guy. Like, the Redskins used Chris Thompson. I don't understand. I thought Duke Johnson was going to actually be a top 20 back this season just because of the PPR, nightmare. But we haven't seen that, and Colosai came over and took over. Yes, I would fade Duke Johnson if you have him. Always go D Hop, and then the rest of them you really just hoping on the Houston side.
Houston and Carolina side both you're just hoping because you're just hoping for that one big play. You could even go to the tight end Jordan Akins like it did against the Jaguars, so you never really know.
Yeah, and I feel like you missed that game. He's not doing that again.
Exactly. All right, so yeah, the next game, the Cleveland Browns at the Baltimore Ravens. The home team's favorite again, -7 over under 45. So Vegas is down to earth on
The
Baltimore.
Browns. They,
On
you
top.
know, they see the Browns ain't what they thought they were going to be. But I'm gonna tell you this: so Baltimore struggles against three wide receivers, and that's all the Browns play. But the Browns can't protect either. And as you saw last week, Mahomes they used a lot of two tight ends just to give Mahomes some kind of protection because like Judon and all them guys was getting to the quarterback. So they try to mix it up. The Browns want to go three receivers all game, and as you saw versus the Rams, that's not going to work. And then if that happens again, no OBJ, there's no Landry, there's no Chubb. Like the only way this offense can go unless you throw the ball 2 yards and he can take it to the house. That's pretty much how the Browns scored against the Jets. It's pretty much how they've been doing. So I'm definitely not liking nobody from Cleveland. Definitely not Baker Mayfield. Baltimore one of the best teams against the run for fantasy and real life. So I don't want Nick Chubb. Landry has been disappointed this season just because he's not a touchdown guy. He rolls on volume, and OBJ gets all of them. So the Browns, I just don't know what they're going to do because, like I said, if they want to spread the Baltimore Ravens out, which Ravens do struggle, can they protect Baker long enough? And I don't think that'll be the case.
Yeah, that's definitely it's definitely one of those like how do you value that offensive line versus defensive line battle? Just because if they can get to Baker Mayfield, then it's going to be a bad day. But if they can't, you can definitely see OBJ and the returning Antonio Callaway going off for big plays. I'm not playing Jarvis Landry. I don't.
No,
All the
no.
volume is taken away, so you can't really play Jarvis
Yeah,
Landry.
if it's not OBJ, I don't see why you would go any Browns. But on the Ravens side, this Cleveland defense has not been good. I've been trying to tell people that the whole time. They're 29 against running backs this season. So Mark Ingram, we saw you last week. Can you do it again? And I expect him. I love Mark Ingram this week.
Yeah, I actually have three locks from this Ravens team. I have Lamar Jackson, Mark Ingram, and I also like Marquise Brown this week. He can definitely easily get off a big
Hollywood.
play this week, and I just think the ceiling plays are going to be with the Baltimore tight ends because they're going to pass to all three of them, so it doesn't really matter.
Right. And then if Cleveland's still banged up in that secondary, I expect a big day from Hollywood Brown. He's been getting targets all over the place. Like not even I thought he would just be like a Deshaun Jackson deep down the field type of guy, but Ravens is finding any type of way to give him the ball, and I'm glad John Harbaugh and their offense has decided to do that because he's special with the ball in his hands. So I like that as a lock. Mark Andrews, he in my one of my leagues, so I need him to come along because my team need a little help. So I expect the Ravens to win this game, and honestly, pretty easily.
Yeah, I agree. I don't believe in this Cleveland team at all. Do you believe in Baker Mayfield?
Baker Mayfield, if they can protect Baker Mayfield, I can believe in him. But I don't think he can. He's not an improviser like Carson Wentz and Russell Wilson is. So if Baker Mayfield not getting protected, I don't.
All right, yeah, that's fair enough. It's all that's the offensive line, defensive line battle is always very important week to week.
Now we can talk about somebody I do believe in, and that's my boy Danny Dimes. I'm trying to tell you, that's my guy right there.
So yeah, this is actually one of the highest totals on the slate. I think last week I forget which game it was. It was like a 48 total. I think this is gonna be the game of the week. This is gonna be the highest total of the week more than likely. And yes, the Redskins versus the Giants -3. To the Giants 49.5 over under. And yeah, so Terry McLaurin is playing. He's a lock. Danny Dimes is a lock, and Evan Ingram is a lock for me.
Yeah, I got the same locks. I also think as a floor play, your boys Case Keenum. I think he's a good floor. Giants has proven this season they can't stop anybody. Um, Dak, Winston, they all went off. Who else they play? Blank. Oh, Josh Allen. So they all went off. So I expect Keenum after the first 2 weeks he had a good game, and even in Chicago, garbage bucket. So I expect him to have a good game. I would hope this is a anybody can get off type of game because I can even see Adrian Peterson going vintage AP all day on the Giants run game. I could also see him do nothing and Chris Thompson go berserk. It's actually gonna be something fun to watch because usually when you see two sorry teams play, you don't want to watch it. But this is it'll be a lot of points on this board, and I'm very to see how Danny Dimes can sling and go 2-0 as a starter because he definitely not winning the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I definitely have Sterling Shepard as a floor play. Like even going back to last year when OBJ wasn't there, Sterling Shepard was the man every week, even if he wasn't catching touchdowns. I like Chris Thompson this week. He's definitely a floor play for me. He's honestly might be a floor play every week when he's healthy. And if Washington's just trying to slow this game down and keep the ball out of Danny Dimes' hands, I like Trey Quinn a lot as well.
Trey Quinn, aka Lil Cole Beasley. Um, anything else from this game? This is the last week before we get to see Golden Tate in his offense. So, outside of when they play Minnesota and the Patriots, this Giants team, even versus them, because Golden Tate is a yak monster. So I'm just like looking forward. Do you like? Are you happy about this Giants offense as far as fantasy wise? Because even without Saquon, I still think I still think the Giants can move the ball. I mean, obviously it's going to be a hard task against Minnesota and New England, but I'm waiting to see what he does and how the
I
offense
just
look.
I just don't think without Saquon they lose the dimension of their game. They're not going to be able to slow down the game with Wayne Gallman. Um, another receiver I like, especially this week since it's the last week without Tate. I like Cody Latimer a lot. He can clear concussion protocol as well, so
How,
he can definitely make a big play.
how about say for everybody out there, if you going to go Cody Latimer, this is probably the last week. You better get him now because he's not going to have that much fantasy value when going to take comeback.
Yeah, I mean he definitely has a connection from the preseason with Daniel Jones. So if they're running three wide sets, he's definitely going to be the third wide receiver when Tate is back. And as one of our league's name, it's all about the touchdowns.
Facts.
All right, so the next game, this is one of those other crazy spreads. I don't know how like the Dolphins are so trash. So yeah, the Los Angeles Chargers at the Miami Dolphins. The Chargers are favored by 14 and a half plus 14 and a half over under 44.5. So they think it's going to be a low scoring game. So do you like Austin Eckler? Is that a lock every like if you're playing the DraftKings lineup, is Austin Eckler going in there if you can't afford Dalvin Cook?
Yes, I'm gonna go Eckler, and the only thing I'm nervous about is now that Justin Jackson has been ruled out. They said Melvin Gordon is gonna play in a limited role. What does that
Possibly.
actually
Possibly.
possibly? Okay, but what does that actually mean? Because if I play Eckler and you throw Melvin Gordon out there on the goal line, I'm going to be pissed off.
And
Like,
that will be the case.
and that's what's going to
Melvin
happen.
Gordon will get the goal line work no matter what. It does not
And
matter.
and that's what I'm scared of because the Eckler does all the work and he's not putting touch. That's why he was so good week one because
And week two, both
he
weeks.
put all the work in and got the touchdowns. So if he's not going to get the goal line work, I mean he's still a good play, but I'm pretty sure his price tag has gone up because of he's starting running back for that offense, and I'm just mad that I'm not saying mad at Melvin Gordon, but Justin Jackson being hurt kind of open the door for this, and especially without Mike Williams, I feel like they're gonna lean on Melvin Gordon because the last time the Chargers went to Miami, when Miami wasn't good, Miami won.
Yeah,
I'm not,
I feel
and
like
I,
that could happen again.
and that's exactly why I've won. This point total opened up higher than this. Chargers was favored by like 18 points, and it came down to 14 and a half and a 44 under. Like because Cowboys, I think the over under was like 49-50, and I was like Cowboys are gonna score that much themselves. They scored 31, but Miami. I ain't saying they getting better, but they're getting better and better every week, even though they're still getting blown out. I mean, Chargers coming from the West Coast, you have to rely on the running game. So that's why I think he can be a lock. And no Melvin, no Justin Jackson. There's no Mike Williams. There's no tight ends. So it's on the Keenan Allen, Eckler, and he had to play Melvin Gordon. You know what I mean? Like he limited. That's not going to be the case. He has to play.
It's not the case that if they will play Melvin Gordon, if he's on the field, he will play in that limited role. But he's on the NFL exempt list, so we don't know if he's eligible to
Okay.
play.
Well, yeah. Well, if he's not playing, then definitely Eckler and Keenan Allen because win or lose, they have to get the ball because who else can he get the ball to? Because I know Travis Benjamin was banged up. I don't know if he's fully healthy, but I know he's been banged up through the week. And Inman, he hasn't really had any impact yet. So I expect Keenan Allen to get 50 targets, Eckler to get 50 rush attempts.
Yeah,
But no, yeah, I'm all in on them too. Yeah,
and then there's, I mean, I got
whoever
Philip
there.
Rivers as a lock, so and that, and then I'm not gonna talk about anyone else from this game, but I have Josh Rosen as a floor play. Like,
Hey, my Dolphins gonna surprise us this week because they really would have had Cowboys on. They would have been winning at halftime against the Cowboys if it wasn't for that drop touchdown. Preston Williams 12 targets last week, like
but it wasn't just one drop touchdown. It was
field goal, missed field goals, and
the wide receivers for Miami last week. They dropped. I swear they dropped double digit passes. I swear it was at least 9.
yeah,
Like,
and that's sad. I mean, you don't have, and that's why I think this is just a future talk, but they should not go to it. They should go Judy or somebody else, get some better pass options because Rosen can you saw last week, like he was fine. He got hit around, got concussion protocol for a secondary, but I mean Rosen's gonna be fine. And if he's the quarterback, I expect this Miami offense to get better, and I expect them to be in the game longer. So that way, guys like Balaj and guys like Drake can actually have some kind of impact, which they doesn't have right now. But I like Preston Williams. I think he's going to be a good play down the line. I think he's going to be a star for the Miami Dolphins in years to come. So, if you want to take a flyer, Preston Williams, because like I said, Chargers coming to Miami, and it's different down there. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, and I mean Albert Wilson is also slated to play from what I've seen. So
Finally,
yeah, exactly. And then Devontae Parker, like they always talk about him, but he can make
he
it.
been, he's
He can make a big
he's been okay this year. I know. I mean, he's been okay. And nobody's really watching him like that, but he has some pretty good games so far.
All right. So the Oakland Raiders at the Indianapolis Colts over under 45.5, favoring the home team once again, -7 to the Colts. So yeah, the way I see this game is I don't know if Oakland covers, but they're going to try to keep it close. So I feel like this game is going to be really, really, really slow. And Marlon Mack is one of my favorite plays of the week.
Oh, definitely. Marlon Mack has been like, how crazy it would have been if they had Andrew Luck with Marlon Mack, like a top running game in the league, running game with a great quarterback. That would have been so scary. But
They would they if they had Andrew Luck, they would have been Super Bowl contenders, 100%.
yeah, and right now, I mean, Jacoby Brissett, he's not. I mean, he's not saying he's Super Bowl contender quarterback, but he actually been playing solid. They making the playoffs. T.Y. Hilton been a little banged up. He still played last week. Eric Ebron touchdown dependent. Doyle, he's gonna get you his 3 catches, 50, 40 yards.
Yeah.
And I mean, they really just spread the ball around, and if it ain't Ty, it ain't Marlon Mack. It's kind of hard to go anybody else. But another guy I like on the other side is
T.Y.'s not playing. T.Y.'s doubtful.
He's doubtful. Okay, so he probably if he doesn't play,
It's
you
Kane.
all in. You all in on Marlon Mack because I mean because you can go these other guys, but you just throwing a dart
The only
and
really pass catchers I'm going is the tight ends.
yeah, Jed Dillon
Tight ends.
always tight end. Like you said, I like your theory about always with the tight ends when you got nothing else. It's smart because one nobody they're not getting pressed off the line like so they just go anywhere they want to freely. Um, I like Josh Jacobs because what you're saying, the game can be slow, and the Raiders can stay in the game long enough. Jacobs is going to have a good game. He's a good running back. Derek Carr, for some reason, is the top six quarterback in PFF. So he has solid. He's been solid, but like Tyrell Williams and all the other guys, like his offense has to get going. They're not scoring enough points. And Josh Jacobs is a big part of that. They said they're going to get him in the some targets this week, and that's what I want to see because against the Vikings, once the game got out of hand, he was pretty much useless. I mean, he wasn't even on the field like that. They had I know he's come off injury, but Washington was getting a lot of play, and so was Ricard. So I really hope Josh Jacobs can be more versatile back because I think Carr needs it. I think Carr needs a complete back with him. I think he strives on that because when he had Marshawn Lynch, they was I mean, he was Marshawn Lynch on the team when they went 12-4 that year.
No, it wasn't Marshawn.
Who was it? Who it was some? Oh, was it Murray? It was Latavius Murray that was being a. It
It
was
was.
Latavius Murray. Murray had an All Pro season or something like that season, Pro Bowl season. So when he has a running back like that can take pressure off of him, good things can happen. And if no T.Y. Hilton, that means Tyrell Williams probably the best receiver on the field. Waller's going to be a beast. Like this Raiders team, I'm not saying they're going to upset the Colts, but they can do something. And I want to go. I want to go Carr. I want to go Waller and all these guys and DraftKings and other plays. But I sometimes I'd be scared too.
Yeah, I don't really believe in Tyrell Williams this week. It's not his week. I don't think he's in the game plan. They're gonna try to both of these
Hunter.
both of these teams are gonna try to slow it down. The Jacoby's game is he's going to try to check it down, play it slow, especially without T.Y. Hilton. It's Deion Kane, Zach Pascal. Um,
Pascal played pretty good last week though.
Chester Rogers, I guess. Paris Campbell is probably the best receiver for this week. But I
You
really
don't.
like Jack. I like Jack Doyle a lot in that check down role. Ebron's the touchdown monster, and then yeah. So my my only lock, I got another lock is definitely Darren Waller, and I like Hunter Winfrey a lot as a floor.
Yeah, I think Hunter Renfro is probably going to emerge as one of the best slots soon to come in the game. And John Gruden has to feature this guy because he's always open. Like he's always open.
Exactly.
My favorite game of the week right here.
Ooh, the highest total on the slate. Kansas City Chiefs at Detroit Lions plus 6.5 to Kansas City over under 54.5.
Woo!
That ridiculous.
I like that a lot.
Yep. Mahomes, Chelsea Watkins, Galladay. Those are the only locks for
I mean, yeah, Mahomes and Galladay. Okay, I can agree with that. I was I would think most of the Chiefs receivers are floors, to be honest. Demarcus Robinson is leading like the league and like yards per catch, where his target's at. And Sammy always gonna have a safe floor. He was getting like 8 or 9, 10 fantasy points, and I don't know when his week is gonna come. It could be this time. I think Darius Slay had a hammy pulled up last week, so I don't know. I don't really catch his status, but if he could to avoid the Slay, if he could avoid Slay, Sammy could go off again.
I like Sammy a lot this week. Yeah, I really don't believe in Darius Slay, especially what Keenan Allen was able to do to him a few weeks ago. I think they're going to try to target that with the beast who is Sammy Watkins, and Sammy Watkins is the person I'm targeting with Mahomes this week. I definitely have Miko Harden as a floor play. I don't know. Demarcus Robinson is that it's the big playability, but can you really rely on that?
Yeah, with Mahomes, you probably could.
Okay, okay. You really can't argue that. And then yeah, I I I I put carry on as a floor play, but yeah, like I said before we got on, Matthew Berry said carry on's gonna have a good day. So carry on's definitely
Yeah,
I don't
if
I don't believe in
carry
Darius.
on better. be in the plans in the passing game
I think it's Pat.
because we always get mad about these defenses against Kansas City, but it's really the offenses of the other team fault. I need them to put some pressure on the Kansas City defense. That means put pressure on Mahomes because I want to see this total go up. And because I like Stafford a lot this week, and I'm going to play a lot with Stafford in there, and as well as some Chiefs players in the lineup as well. But this game has to be high scoring. I'm not going to be as accepting if it's a low scoring game, 20 to 17. I don't want none of that. I need 35, 31. But I can't say that win this game because I need Detroit going to lose that game because they are undefeated still.
Yeah,
Technically.
I definitely like the pass catchers a lot this week. T.J. Hawkinson's a sleeper. On the other side
Yeah.
of the ball, if Darius Slay is able to go, like we saw what Marvin Jones did last week. I like he's so up and down, but I like Marvin Jones a lot. And then I guess Shady McCoy or Daryl Williams. Probably more Daryl Williams because he is definitely probably more of that pass catcher role.
Yeah, Derek Williams did most of the. It's crazy how McCoy went off last week and only played like 24 snaps. Um,
Chiefs.
it, it's gonna be a good one. I expect Matthew Stafford to prove that he can still do what he do. I think he's leading the NFL in like deep target passes this season. So that's why you gotta love Galladay, and you almost love Jones a lot too because both of them can go off, and we're not scared of the Chiefs defense. So
Never. All right, so it's my team's turn. Okay. All right. So the New England Patriots at the Buffalo Bills over under 42 and a half. So on the lower end, the Patriots are favored by 7.
yeah, the Bills have been my surprise team for this year. I got them going to the playoffs as a wild card. Um, New England's going to win this game, of course. I expect them to anyway. But last year, now don't forget the last time you came to Buffalo, you played Derek Anderson, and it was 9-6 in the third quarter. So I don't expect this game to be high scoring. Josh Allen is there. Unless Josh Allen throwing pick sixes, I don't expect this game to be high scoring. 42, I would definitely take the under on that. And to be honest, in this game, I really don't like that many people. It shouldn't be a lot of big plays in this game. Both defenses are solid. I think New England is number one in every statistical category. That's just because of who they played too as well. But Buffalo can struggle in the run game, but no James Devlin to run that as a fullback. Sonny Michel been struggling all season. The only person I really like is Edelman, and he's coming off a rib injury.
See, I kind of see this game a little bit differently. I can definitely see this game being like what it says right here. I could see this game going a little bit over, like maybe 28-21. Maybe like because this game is going to be really, really, really slow. And like you said, their success. Okay, you know what I meant. And to the run, and so yeah, I actually feel like the Patriots are going to go a different way. I like Edelman a lot this week to be the underneath guy, as well as I like James White. I have James White as a lock this week. He just had a baby, bro, so he got the baby boost. James White, he he's $4,900 on DraftKings. He's really really cheap. He might be in. He is in every single one of my lineups at this point.
So you're not scared of the Rex Burkhead effect.
Burkhead, I'm pretty sure he's questionable.
As
Him,
always.
him, Singletary, and Rashad Penny are questionable. I forgot to mention that earlier.
But it's like I feel like Burkhead and James White. The reason why I think Michelle may get faded out a little bit is because he's predictable. He comes in, you know what they're going to do, and those type of running backs, unless you're special, a la Adrian Peterson, you don't get that pass. You know what I mean? Like so, I think like even though he's a first round talent, I think they're going to fade Michelle down the line, and if Burkhead plays, I believe Burkhead and White will see most of the targets and most of the play, most of the snaps, and what Michelle did last in the playoffs. You think that's crazy, but the way they're going, especially now with no James Devlin there, I think all Michelle touchdowns last year was behind James Devlin. So there's no fullback there. they're going to spread teams out now, and I think that eliminates Michelle a lot. So I got to trade him about 2 leagues.
Sony Michelle is definitely falling off this year. Like we all thought we were going to be a run heavy team, and that's what everyone is preparing for. And then
Right?
we just come out there and pass, and then we dominate. So does it really matter?
Of course you don't.
Yeah, and then yeah, I have the Buffalo running backs as a ceiling play because, like I said, this game is going to be slow. I have Josh Allen honestly as a lot. Like he's always going to get work one way or the other. So
Oh yeah,
have
passing through the leg, running is
it doesn't
Josh
matter.
Allen gonna do it all. He the only thing I don't like about Bills and I said it before on the podcast this last episode is that he's the only playmaker on the offense. Like you can put the ball in Edelman and Josh Gordon hand, they can change the game. You know, Josh Allen got to do everything.
I feel
Like
like John Brown is always a play, but like I understand that he's not a playmaker. You're absolutely right. I can see Devil Singletary coming in like a like
I hope
leading
so.
him in
Somebody
this year, and like he's definitely has that playmaking ability.
they can always sign Melvin Gordon next year.
And who just traded for Devin Singletary in Dynasty?
Yes, sir.
That was
had to get him.
I why don't all right, we're gonna have an argument later about us not vetoing trades because y'all been bamboozling people, bro.
Okay, we'll talk about it later. All right, next game.
All right,
uh, anyway,
Tennessee Titans at the Atlanta Falcons. 3.5 favorite for the Falcons over under 46. I don't. Tennessee's gonna win this game.
and I expressed this and was like Dan Quinn is probably going to get fired quickly because you cannot afford to lose this game and go down 1-3. Probably you really should have lost to the Eagles. Aguilar lost me some money. He should have caught that pass for a touchdown. Anyway, I don't see how Atlanta wins this game because the Atlanta defense is not good. And they're going to make Mariota look like he's a good player, which I'm going to hear these Tennessee fans in my ear again. Marcus Mariota. No, it's going to be Derrick Henry's show because they can't stop the run. They can't stop it. Delaney Walker's been banged up, but I think he's going to play. But yeah, all these weapons that Mariota has, and if you put the ball in their hands, Adam Humphries, AJ Brown, Davis, they can make plays. So, and against the secondary of Atlanta, not scared of it at all. And on the flip side, you're not scoring that many points on Tennessee Titans, like 20 at the max. Like you're not going to score on them. So touchdown is going to be hard to come by. Who gets them on Atlanta? Well, Matt Ryan going to throw a pick. Freeman not going to get going in the running game. And it's going to be the Julio Jones show like it always is. Like it's the same script every single week. Tennessee has been pretty like average against every position so far this season, but still, you're not going to score on this defense. So I'm right there with you. I think Tennessee covers. Covers the spread and wins this game, and they're gonna blame Matt Ryan again. But of course, it's gonna be Derrick Henry gonna have like 200 rushing yards.
Derrick Henry is definitely the play this week. I like Delaney Walker too. No matter what, it doesn't matter. He's the target for Marcus Mariota because you say Davis, Brown, and Humphreys can make these plays. He got to get the ball in their hands. I don't trust Mariota to do that. Um, and yeah, I actually have Matt Ryan as a ceiling play this week. I'll talk about Matt Ryan later.
Yeah,
Um,
Adam has still play too. Yeah,
yeah, Devontae Freeman, I don't really know. Calvin Ridley, I feel is he touchdown dependent?
very. Because
Okay.
that's why he was so good last year because he had 10 touchdowns and rookies don't do that. That's for that fact. And now that Julio Jones be scoring all the touchdowns, really value's going down.
Yeah, and yeah, I feel like hey, another one of those people from that Belichick tree. Mike Vrabel got his Adam Humphries. I like Humphries a lot as a floor play, and I don't like Ridley this week, so I like Muhammad Sanu. He's gonna catch like 6 passes for like
I do like Austin Hooper because the middle of the field has to be open because one, he's not going to have time. The Tennessee pass rush is pretty good. So Harold Landry and all the other guys, they're coming. So he has to pass the ball. I think Cameron Wake is on Tennessee now. So Cameron Wake is coming. He's on the He's a left end. Left end. Yeah, left end. So that means the right tackle is out for the season, so or broke his foot. So what does that mean? He coming. And Matt Ryan throw the ball to somebody. Boom. Austin Hooper. So I like that because of that factor. So Austin Hooper could be in store for a big game, kind of like against Minnesota, where you got to throw to somebody, So
Yep, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Los
I like
Angeles
this game
Rams
too.
over under 49.5 minus 9.5. This is Jared Goff's coming out party against these Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, I have Woods and Cup as a floor play, but ceiling play right now. But low key, my wide receiver of the week might be Brandon Cooks, bro.
I mean, I like all receivers for the Rams. I mean, you just can't go wrong with either one of the three. You don't know who will get the ball. The targets has been up and down all season long. So who knows? Last week was Cooper Cup. Robert Woods yet to have his game, so we don't know when this coming. It could very well come in this game. Um, it's like they're not even using Robert Woods like they did last year. Like it's not like his talent went off. So I don't know what it really is, but it's gonna be a Jared Goff game. He has to throw the ball. They don't really need Todd Gurley in this one to move the ball. So Todd Gurley he's gonna be his safe option. He may or may not score. I think really Gurley is probably a afterthought at this point so far this season. So, but on the other side, man, we know Mike Evans won't go 3 touchdowns crazy. But I really wish this Bruce Arians offense can be balanced. And when I mean balanced, I mean at the receiver position and tight end. I would like Mike Evans, he can lead the pack. That's fine. I would really like OJ Howard and Godwin to be in the offense. Like I don't want to see force fed to Mike Evans all day. Let's get Godwin and OJ Howard because I feel like no team should be able to stop those three. Like at least one of them. There's no way you can stop all three of them. But Bruce Arians don't use tight ends, and I thought maybe OJ Howard can be used as a receiver in the slot or something. You only got two options really. So I would thought he would be out, but guess not. So Jameis Winston, the Rams has been good against quarterbacks this year, but it's kind of a false narrative because they played Cam Newton, who was hurt, Drew Brees, who was hurt, and Baker Mayfield, who got an offensive line. So can Jameis Winston? I think he's going to be better than all three of those quarterbacks. But can he not hurt himself? Because you know him throw pick sixes left and right. And if Aaron Donald get into his face, he's going to panic. and that what causes Evans and Godwin not to be the great option that they should be.
Exactly, and I really hope Bruce Arians does balance off this offense because, especially looking at this Rams defense, the way you want to attack them is in with your offensive run game. So like, does he need? If they want to win this game, they need to take the chance and try to make Ronald Jones like a future back this week because he did
And
get a Marvin last week.
and that's what that inconsistency of running backs is killing me because Rojo, Barber, Rojo. So I mean, if I'm going with the trend, Barber is going to be able to play this week, but Rojo's a little better running back this season. And you know me, at first I was like, man, Tampa Bay should go make a trade for Melvin Gordon. Obviously they haven't done it, but you need somebody who can be electric. And I mean, I don't see why not Ronald Jones. He's a better back than Barber. I don't know what the reason is behind that, but
It's it's just one of those things like the Jamal Williams situations. Barber's just a better blocker. Yeah.
well, why don't you fix it and just get Melvin Gordon? that you know what I'm saying?
Chargers weren't trading Melvin Gordon. It wasn't.
Yeah, no, they just gonna let him go. But this is a game I do really want to watch. Like, I'm excited for this game as well. 49.5 over under. I probably would take the Rams to cover. Just because Jared Goff may go crazy, and this could be his week for real.
I think it's Jared Goff's week, so like I'm honest. I don't know. I don't know if I can see Winston. It's just
Yeah.
I feel like it's Jared Goff's week, so Tampa Bay has to win this game by running the ball, and that takes the ball out of Winston's hands.
That's fair. I really hope Ronald Jones get going, and I need Evans and Godwin to be more balanced. I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying like I was kind of mad last week, like Winston having his career like a career day out here, and got no love. Like that's just beyond me.
All right, so the Seattle Seahawks,
Another
they're
game I love.
over under 48 -5 to Seattle. Um, you, I don't know. I don't know. This game is iffy for me, man. I really think Seattle's going to go back to their plan. Chris Carson's going to be pounded, pounded, pounded. They're going to slow down this game and get the ball out of Kyler Murray's hands because that's the only way they lose this game.
I don't think Seattle defense is good enough um, to play that way. Like what I mean by that is like the defense is not good and it forcing Seattle to play. You know what I'm saying? Like to make sure they stay in rhythm because the defense is viable to give up a big play at any given moment. And that's why I like Larry Fitzgerald, I like Kirk, I like Kyler Murray and David Johnson in this game because I mean I don't see nobody from Seattle stopping them. We got Clowney, but I mean and Bobby Wagner, but that's just not enough. And if for whatever reason Seattle gets down in the game like last time, you're going to see Russell Wilson go crazy again. I mean, 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. I mean, and running the ball. That's just, I mean,
Ridiculous. Last
right?
week was totally ridiculous.
Yeah, and like, you can't expect that again because I don't think he had to put up that many points to beat Arizona. But um, I would love for them to put the ball back into Russ's like hands. I mean, I understand the Carson thing, but Carson is very lucky that Penny is hurt. Like very lucky because he would be on. I mean, I believe he would be on the bench. Like I believe if Penny was healthy, they would just go Penny and Carson would lose all his value. But Carson got a chance to rebound because, like you said, Seattle wants to run the ball, so he got his chance again. And because he was a dud last week, and if I don't go him this week, he gonna go off. Like, but if I go him again, he gonna disappoint again. So I don't know what should I do.
Yeah, I kind of understand. I honestly, so it doesn't matter that Rashad Penny may be the better talent than Chris Carson. It's Pete Carroll believes in Chris Carson and he's going to get this ball. So like, I don't I don't really see
If he keep fumbling, he gonna be on the bench.
I don't see the potential in this game. But that's honestly just me, and I'm probably
I
wrong.
mean, you absolutely right. It could be a 9-6 game, and I'm going to be pissed off if I go, with the guys I got. Unless it's going to be a good yardage day to make up for the touchdowns. It could go either way. I can see this game going that way as far as a low scoring affair. I know a game that's going to be low scoring. It's definitely going to be this one. Minnesota at Chicago, -2 Chicago, which is almost a pick'em game, really. Um, and we talk about it off the show. If Kirk Cousins does not mess up, if he doesn't mess up, Minnesota can win this game. Dalvin Cook will have a big game. And on Diggs or Thielen, who are you going to go? Thielen is more safe than Diggs, but I really need them to get this passing game going. It's not because we have to throw the ball, but I don't want it to be just one sided again. Like we shouldn't have to do that with two good top 15 receivers. We shouldn't have to do that. We shouldn't have to go all running game. And Kirk Cousins should have he's not gonna have a good game in this game, but as far as yardage, because Bears defense is that good. But if they can keep the Bears on their toes, man, I can expect a coming out party versus an elite defense. Like what I'm saying, like you struggle versus the Packers and you struggle against all the other teams you played, and all of a sudden against the Bears, the one team that you you shouldn't go off against. Diggs and Thielen could have a good game because so far the Bears ain't really been good against receivers, but you also can point to the fact that they've been blowing people out. So, or catch the garbage buckets. But Dalvin Cook is a monster, a beast.
Okay, all right. I'm glad you ended on that because I was about to say if you believe Kirk Cousins can have an elite day against the Chicago
Not
defense,
elite, not elite. Solid. The
what is
Diggs and Thielen can have an
solid?
elite day.
What is solid?
Solid is say about 240, about 2 touchdowns. One to Thielen and one to Diggs, so they can have an elite day.
Okay, all
Because
right.
we only got 3 people catch the ball. So
I was thinking 4 touchdowns.
oh no, if he go 4 touchdowns, we win this game by 20 to 3. They're not messing with us. If that's the case.
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. If you really believe Kirk is going to have one of those days against his defense, like go literally go deposit $20 on your DraftKings account, go to the Millionaire Maker and play a Kirk Cousins lineup.
Yeah, definitely. But I'm
But
not
yeah,
gonna do
I believe in Dalvin Cook and Allen Robinson, and I believe in Thielen, man. I'm not touching this game other than Dalvin Cook, and yeah, and I'm
That's it.
forced to
Yeah,
play.
yeah, that's really it. Yeah.
I'm
As
forced
far
to
as
play
playing,
nobody's player in season long, but other than that, it's Dalvin Cook or bust. Dalvin
right?
Cook or
Because
bust.
I'm scared. I bench David Montgomery because Vikings going to stop him. Um, Obviously, you put the ball in Mitch's hands, Minnesota probably going to win the game. So because he gonna throw a pick. So, he's gonna throw a pick. It's gonna about to happen. But Mitch hasn't used his legs all year. Do you think he has a floor by doing that, or he just too
No,
sorry?
he's the matchup I'm looking for is your boy Xavier Rhodes against Allen Robinson. Is Allen Robinson going to be able to body him?
Nah, probably not. Um, one, the pass is not gonna be as accurate as it need to be. Two, after that Devontae Adams shellacking, he got back right
I
against
see. I
against the
see.
Raiders. So I mean, obviously it's the Raiders, but still, like he can't go out like that. And I don't think he's gonna let Allen Robinson, who's not a star receiver, go off on him. I just don't see it.
All right,
But game gonna be low scoring. So if Dalvin Cook doesn't score, I don't know who scores in the game. Or Thielen. Those two don't score. I don't know who scores.
and then one low scoring game into the other. Jacksonville at the Denver Broncos. The over under is 38.5. And they got the home team winning by 3.
So pick 'em game again, basically.
So are either of these teams good?
I think Denver and Jacksonville are good teams. I think Denver should have beat Chicago. That's bullshit. What happened there was bullshit.
You're right. You're correct.
That
You're
was
correct.
bullshit. Against the Packers didn't do anything in the second half. Like if they had a competent quarterback or if they could move the ball on offense, they could have won the game easily. That's just what it is. Now, I mean, and then week 1, who they played? They played Raiders. That was an emotional game. Raiders playing without AB, hard knocks. I think that's what loses that. But they shouldn't have lost that one. But the defense is not making enough plays. Vic Fangio was famous on making plays, scoring touchdowns, sacks, and Von Miller and Chubb hasn't gotten that yet. So I think Denver's pretty good. I think Jacksonville is pretty good. Now, this Ramsey distraction can hold stuff back, but I think they found something in DJ Chark. I think they found something in DJ Chark this season. And Minshew, man, it looked pretty solid. I think the running backs of this game probably would be the game, like the two guys I would go, Lindsey and Fournette. I think if Royce Freeman, I don't know if he's playing or not, but I know he's been banged up. But if he does play, he can be even solid play. That'll kind of knock Lindsey off a little bit because when Freeman got hurt last game, Lindsey went fucking crazy. So Fournette, Lindsey, and that's really as far as running backs, I go Sanders with no Jalen Ramsey. I like him. Because what's his name? Boye has been, he's not been that great this season so far. And I also like Cortland Sutton, but once again, I always tell you this: do I really want the second receiver of a Joe Flacco offense?
Well, like I said last week, I think it's 1A and 1B, man. It's going to be back and forth, back and forth. My only lock in this game is Leonard Fournette. He's yeah. Leonard Fournette. I think he might have his week this week. As floor plays, I actually have DJ Chark and Westbrook. Westbrook is definitely the gadget player on this Jacksonville team.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like they're going to get the ball in his hands and try to make plays, and Minshew's going to force it to Chark. I don't like Emmanuel Sanders again this week, man. It's just Joe. He's going to be the second receiver again for me. So I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if he put a gun to my head and told me to choose a receiver, I don't want either one of them. But I kind of like Sanders. I mean, it just Sanders, just like. He always been a good receiver, but yeah, you definitely do not want the second receiver of the Flacco. Like it's not going to be both; it's only going to be one. So that's the risk you're taking when you play one of them. So
yeah, and I feel like Sutton is going to get more one-on-one just because I feel like there's always going to be that safety eye in Sanders.
Yeah, this game gonna be low scoring. This is a game I'm not excited to watch it all. So
not at all. And then Sunday night football. We done with the main slate. We got the Dallas Cowboys at the New Orleans Saints over under 47.5 plus 2.5 to Dallas. Uh, I'm playing pretty much the elite players, my locks, Dak Prescott, Zeke, Amari, Mike Thomas, Kamara, and then I honestly do not want a single other player from this game.
No, that's it. I actually think Kamara takes a step back a little bit. I think last week was just crazy.
I agree.
But this is the matchup that the reason why I think Kamara is going to have a down game, not a down game, but a worse game than Zeke. And it's the matchups. Like Kamara got to play Jalen Smith and Van Der Esch, and those two linebackers can go side to side. They're not going to miss tackles like Seattle did. That's just not going to happen. Another side, Zeke is playing. I mean, who I think his name Alonzo or something. Kiko Alonso's still there, and all the other linebackers. Zeke's gonna eat them boys alive. So if I had to pick one that they're the same price, around the same price, I'm going Zeke. With that case, and then at receiver, I know Cooper been banged up a little bit. Do you still see him having a good game versus Marshawn, or you don't care about it?
I honestly don't really care about it. I feel like Amari Cooper can body Marshawn Lattimore. So Marshawn Lattimore is
That's
just
what he's. Yeah.
it's just one of those players you don't really know. Like
Mhm.
he he's definitely a really good player. He's a Pro Bowler, but I it's sometimes like he has those stretches where he's locked down, and in some games he just doesn't have it. And we see that last year when Dallas blew
Well,
out New Orleans. It was
that
definitely
they came in New Orleans and blew them off again, and -2.5. I'm taking Dallas. I think honestly, I don't think it's going to be close. Um,
yeah,
I,
especially without Drew Brees there. It's
yeah, I don't see. I think Thomas and Kamara can have a good game just because one in garbage buckets, but I think last week is more emotional for the Saints that we can do without Drew We can do it, but you got to think again. Last week they didn't really score offense until like the second half, like until the game got wide open with the defensive touchdown and the kickoff return or whatever it was. They didn't do anything offensively. So I don't think that's you can't predict defense touchdowns and kickoff returns. So when that comes back to and regress back to norm, this Norm's offense is not going to do a lot, and I think Dallas is going to win and smother them again like they did last year.
yeah, I
I'm yeah.
completely agree. Yeah, other than those five players, good luck.
Good luck. Hey, Jason Witten might do something this week. He got to. I got. I'm
He's
about
got
to do.
touchdowns apparently.
Yeah, that's all he do. So, do you need me to drive to? I'm up here in Philadelphia right now. Do you need me to drive to New Jersey and play some bets for you?
No,
Do you need me to? Okay. All right, last game, man.
I only play DraftKings. Okay, I'm trying to play these tournaments. All right, so yeah, the Cincinnati Bengals at the Pittsburgh Steelers -3.5 to the home team. The Steelers over under 45.5. The Bengals are winning this game.
Mm, I don't think so. I think Pittsburgh win this game. I think Connor goes off because I traded him. Um, and I think the LA Bengals can do something too. So it's gonna be I think it's gonna be a back and forth game. I think at some point it's gonna be this Bengal defense I do not believe in. So they might make Mason Rudolph look like a star in this game, or somebody gonna look like a star.
You believe in the Steelers defense?
Better than the Bengals, yes.
I don't believe in any of them. I do believe in Andy Dalton. So
I got Pittsburgh in like 2 leagues. I think I might have to reconsider because the LA Bengals has had they can put yards on the field. Now whether they score or not, that's a different story. But um, this game is crazy. I think the both running backs are going to have a big game. I can't wait to play the prime time slate because I know I'm going Connor, I'm going Mixon, and I'm probably going Dalton. And I'm probably going Mason Rudolph. Probably hope I can go Juju too, but I know I can't. But still, uh, it's gonna be a good prime time slate as long as nobody breaks it like they have been recently. It could be a good one. I kind of know who I want to go, so I think it could be high scoring. I'm definitely taking the over in this game.
oh yeah, I'm definitely taking the over as well. I have Connor as a lock. I actually have Mixon as a floor play. I feel like Pittsburgh is definitely going to be up in this game, but I don't know, man. I like what I've been seeing about Andy Dalton this year. He's in this new offense. I really like him.
Well, he better get it together because if not, they drafted a quarterback with that first that top pick.
Yeah, nah, they going to Brian Finley. I mean, I don't know about John Ross, Tyler Boyd, lock,
Tyler Boyd,
lock.
eating all day long.
Juju is also eating, and so I don't know. You can either go John Ross or you can go to the dude who got like 11 targets last week. Go to Auden Tate, and watch out for Tyler Eifert on the goal line.
Also, watch out for Deontay Johnson from the Steelers. He's a starter now now with them. So and he had a good game, 3 for 85 and a touchdown. So
I
pretty
feel like it's 50-50 either Johnson or Vance McDonald.
yeah. Well, Vince McDonald injury. I'm gonna go with the play always.
Even even with James Washington having that connection with Randolph, I definitely believe in the other receivers more. I don't believe in James Washington not this year, anyways.
All right, man. It's time to move into the duds of the week.
All right. Whew.
I don't know, man.
My first
I can see a lot of people being a dud.
first done is Matt Ryan.
Ooh,
Yeah,
ooh,
I'm not. Tennessee might blow them out. I don't believe in Matt Ryan at all this week. Julio Jones, you have to believe in, of course. Matt
right.
Ryan, I don't believe in Matt Ryan.
If I go a dud, well, it's two dubs, same team. Baker Mayfield and Chubb. For what you drafted them at, they're going to be a big dud this week. Baltimore Ravens going to get back to that, and then, like you said about the Ryan, it's going to be a blowout. I think Ravens are going to blow them out. Like I don't think it's going to be close.
Yeah, and then my only other dud this week is like I said, he's not in the game plan. I don't like Tyrell Williams at all this week.
And my only other dud, uh, I don't know if it's a. I'm not saying a dud, but a step back. I mentioned earlier. I think Alvin Kamara takes a step back. Um,
Okay,
I if let's say for example, if he protected 15, he might give you 9-10 if he doesn't score. He has to score.
watch out now. I said he was gonna be a dud last week, and then he had like 80 points. So
Well, let me go. Let me say he does, so that way throw a lineup real quick on him. All right, man. Now it's time for Austin's lineup of the week. What you got, man?
all right, so we going that boy Case Keenum. He's really cheap this week, and then I'm pairing him up with a wide receiver. Um, Probably can guess which one, but I'll get to that later. I'm playing Dalvin Cook. Volume. I don't believe in Kirk Cousins. I'm sorry, I don't. Not at all. Not especially against the Chicago defense. Um, I feel like Chicago defense is good at stuffing the runners, and that's not Dalvin Cook's game. He's going to get out to the outside. I think he's going to eat the Chicago defense. I like Marlon Mack this week. Marlon Mack is currently he's a top 10 running back in fantasy, and he's going to maintain that all season long. And then Keenan Allen, Mike Williams is out. They may focus on the run game some, but he's the only one there. And Philip Rivers loves forcing it to Keenan Allen, so I'm definitely going there. I got Kenny Galladay in the lineup. He definitely burned us last week with Marvin Jones' big day, but against Kansas City, how can you not like Kenny Galladay? And then Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry, he he's going to eat this Giants defense. He Janoris Jenkins been getting bodied all season, so it doesn't really matter. Darren Waller, he's definitely going to be the check down guy. He's been consistent. For every catch, he gets about 10 yards. It's been consistent every week. I like him a lot this week. James White, like I said, he getting that baby boost. He's definitely going to be in the game plan, and I like him over Sony Michelle. It's either him or Edelman or James White, and especially with Julian Edelman banged up. I like White a lot this week. And then going with my dud, Matt Ryan is not going to do anything. We got the defense. We got the Tennessee Titans, and that's the lineup.
I like it.
Let's go win this money.
Breaking news: Tony Romo has made the cut at the Safeway Open, so he won't be able to call the Vikings and Bears game this week.
Are you sad to
Yeah,
say
because he can tell me what's about to happen, so I can know if it's going to be touchdown or not. So that's the reason I wanted him. Here's my tier lineup of the week. Let me let me set it up for you. Tier one, first of all, I'm mad that they took off Dalvin Cook at all these tiers. So he's not on here. But tier one, I'm going Patrick Mahomes. You can't go wrong with going the best quarterback in football, and the most talented quarterback we have ever seen in NFL history. Yes, I'm going there. Number two, Keenan Allen against Miami Dolphins. You have to go with him because I mean he gets all the targets. Target monster, volume. That's all fantasy football is about. DraftKings is about. So I'm going Keenan Allen. In my third tier, I'm doubling up with Mahomes with Kelsey. The Detroit Lions. I mean, they're mostly outside guys. Darius Slade, Glover Quinn back there in the back. I'm going Kelsey. Number four, I think the Browns get blown out, which means I'm going Mark Ingram. Mark Ingram going to have another big day like he did last week. So he definitely is in my tier. Tier five, man, is out of two guys, and you can go either one of them, and that's Danny Dimes against the Redskins. Look for the Redskins. They can't guard any receivers. They like the worst team against the receivers this season. Who throws in the ball? Daniel Jones. Or, like we said earlier, Jared Goff. This is the Jared Goff coming out party. He's going to go off. You got three receivers that can't be stopped against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers secondary. So Jared Goff or Danny Dimes, either one is a perfect pick for me. Tier six, I'm going Marlon Mack. We alluded to it earlier. Marlon Mack is number one running back in fantasy. Can't be stopped. He get over 20 carries a game. It's just, and he's. I mean, it doesn't matter where he's at on the field. So, and this game is going to be slow this week. So look for Marlon Mack to go off. And Dalvin Cook went crazy against Oakland Raiders last week. So expect Marlon Mack to do the same. Tier seven, I like Derrick Henry. We talked about that. I like Kerryon. I talked about that. Even like Robert Woods against Buccaneers, but I'm going Kenny Galladay, man. He has to bounce back after last week. Baby Megatron against this Kansas City team, they got to keep up. So volume going to be there. They're not going to be ahead in this game. Mahomes is going to keep the league. So look for Galladay, Stafford to throw the ball down the field, and I like Kenny Galladay a lot. And tier eight, I struggle with this all week. I like Josh Jacobs, but because the Raiders might get blown out at any given moment, it's really Hollywood Brown. I went Hollywood Brown over Larry Fitzgerald and Kirk on the fact that Austin kind of scared me a little bit because this game could be low scoring, could be a 12-9 game with Seattle and Arizona. It could be 30-27. So I'm going Hollywood Brown. That's my tier lineup: Mahomes, Keenan Allen, Kelsey, Mark Ingram, Danny Dimes, or Jared Goff with Mack, Kenny Galladay, and Hollywood Brown.
All right, and yeah, that's it for the week.
That's it, man.
Hunt for the prize. Let's go make this money. One thing, yeah, I've said it once. I've said it again. I don't want Aaron Rodgers in my fantasy lineup unless he is passing 50 times. He's pedestrian unless he is passing 50 times.
Ooh. What with the hot takes as we end the show? Okay.
All right, he's always a top. He's always going to be a top all time quarterback. But I don't know. He's just like it's probably his team, honestly. But if he's not passing 50 times, he's not on my fantasy. He's not in my starting lineup.
Yeah, I feel you. Look for some big blowouts this weekend. I got Baltimore winning by like 15 points, 16 points this week. And like I said, man, make these DraftKings the income, man. That's all we're gonna do, man.
Go and play those double up, man. Don't be like us and try to waste.
Play tournaments. and don't even get close, man. With double ups, that's the only thing I'll be winning, man. I'll save me my money.
Exactly. I make my money back. I've been making my money back the past 2 weeks. So it's I just need that 1 week to pop off. We'll see, man. Hopefully it's this week. Hopefully, this primetime slate's gonna be fun. I know that.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll see you before week 5 next Friday, same time, 5:30 live Eastern. So good luck to you, man. I'll be sharing my lineups with you tomorrow and Sunday morning. So get ready, man.
Yep, and yeah, I'll send you all 3 of my lineups. I'm only playing 3 lineups this week because I don't know. I'm playing a lot more double ups. I gotta stop trying to.
I understand, man. All right, man. We out.